Hey guys, welcome back to today's stock deep dive, and today we'll deep dive into Johnson and Johnson stock ticker or symbol JNJ, right? Okay, but first thing first, important information and disclosure. Educational purposes only. This content is created for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial investment, legal or tax advice. Not a recommendation. Any analysis charts or company mentions are for learning and discussion purposes and do not represent a buy, sell or hold recommendation or any specific trading or investing instructions. No license. I'm not a MAS licensed financial advisor. You should conduct your own research and consult a licensed professional before making any investment or trading decisions. Market risk. Investing and trading involve risk. Markets can be volatile, especially in sectors affected by news, earnings, regulations, or clinical developments. Losses can occur. No guarantee. Past performance, historical data, technical patterns, or dividend history do not guarantee future results. Data accuracy. Information is based on publicly available sources as of 7th of April 2026. Accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed, right? Without further ado, let's jump right into JNJ. But first, back 3 months plus ago, right? On the 15th of December, in fact, I talk about 3 defensive stocks that will do well in good and bad times, right? Okay, that's the title, right? Okay, and price back then, right? Price back then it was $211, right? $211 for JNJ, right? Okay, on the 15th of December, right? Okay, and right now, as of 2nd of March, right? Okay, roughly 3 months, right? Okay, plus a bit. It reached a high of $251.71, right? The dollar difference is $40, right? Okay, so this is a stock appreciation in terms of price of almost 19%, right? Almost 19%. And I do encourage you to watch the video posted on the 15th of December in this channel, right? Okay, why? Because there's another 2 stocks that I mentioned that is really good also, but you want to dive into that video, right? This video posted on the 15th of December so that you know what I'm talking about JNJ, right? Okay, I'm going to add on to the current situation after the appreciation of price on JNJ, right? Okay, what are the price point also, right? Okay, so but very importantly, before we do that, right? Okay, let's take a look at some fundamentals on JNJ, right? Okay, Johnson and Johnson, right? The key business pillars of JNJ, Johnson and Johnson, they focus on complex areas like oncology, immunology, neuroscience, and also medical technology, high-tech tools for surgery, orthopedics, and vision care, right? Okay, this includes their recent addition, right? Shockwave Medical, right? Which use sound waves to treat heart diseases, right? Okay, and they recently spun off its consumer health, right? Band-Aids, into a separate company, right? Over here, and it now focus entirely on higher growth medical science, right? Okay, so they are always trying to improve their numbers, right? Okay, so based on last year's 2025 revenue is approximately $94.2 billion, right? Okay, the guidance for 2026, right, this year range from 99.5 to $100.5 billion, right? Okay, so it is expected to hit the 100 billion mark either this year or even next year, maybe, right? Okay, for the first time, right? Okay, and it has strong 10% growth in the innovative medicine segment led by the cancer drugs, and there are risks also, right? Sales from their top selling drugs are falling as cheaper alternatives enter the market, right? Because their patent period is over, right? Competitors can come in and actually do similar drugs at a cheaper price, right? Again, offering it to the consumer. This could cause the sales of their older drugs, right? Okay, which lost their patents to actually have less sales. Now, the road ahead for J&J, it is moving towards a goal of $50 billion in annual cancer sales drugs, right? Okay, by 2030. And their key growth areas is actually robotic surgery, right? Okay, and also new drug wave, right? They are launching a new pill, right? Which a lot of experts actually believe that it can become a multi-billion-dollar drug, right? Okay, product, right? Okay, so this is a pill for skin, right? Okay, a form of skin disease, right? Okay, so this pill is supposed to address that, and also capital allocation, right? Okay, they are balancing their capital allocation through balancing through heavy research and development, right? Okay, and spending with its 63-year straight of increasing dividend. So every year they are increasing their dividend, right? Okay, slightly, right? Okay, and are balancing it with R&D as well, right? Okay, but that's the road ahead, right? Okay, but there are key risks to consider, right? Tech litigation, right? Okay, ongoing legal battles, settlements related to claims that their former tech products cause cancer, right? Okay, many top drugs are losing their patent protection period, right? Okay, allowing cheaper competitors to take market share, right? Okay, these are all the risks, right? Okay, and pricing deals, right? New government deals may lower the profit margin on certain medicines and drugs as well, right? Okay. So final thought, J&J is a healthcare royalty stock, right? That is successfully pivoting into high-tech medicine. While the legal issue remains a cloud over the stock, its growth in cancer treatment and medical devices provides a strong foundation for them, right? Okay. So let's look at some dividends, right? Okay. The stock currently pays a 2.14 dividend yield per year, right? Okay, and they are considered a dividend king, right? Why? Because they have raised its payout over the past 6 decades, which is a very long period, right? Okay, and their earnings per share for 2026 is approximately $11.53. Last year, 2025 was actually $10.79, right? So this year is a gradual increase, right? Compared with 2024 of $9.98, it was every year it is increasing its earnings per share also, right? Okay, so and this is despite losing some drug patents as well, right? Okay, so they are steady, their growth is steady and consistent as well in terms of their profits as well. And the stock trades at a forward price to earnings ratio of 12 times, right? This is slightly higher than its 12 months average of 19.6 times, right? So there are some technical levels, right? The stock is shown strong momentum, rising nearly 50% over the past 1 year, right? Okay, trading now at near all-time high, right? Okay, as it approaches the 245, 250 range. These are the key support levels. Major support is 52-week low, right? Established in early 2025, 140.68, and secondary support recently is 232.24, right, which I'll show you on the technical charts later on, right? Major resistance level is the all-time high that just established recently. Let's take a look at the chart and show you what I mean, and also give you my take on the price point that that I see it happening soon in the future, right? Okay, so just to recap a little bit, right? Okay, on the 15th of December, somewhere here, I said that it is J&J is a defensive stock, right? Okay, that will do well in good and bad times, right? Okay, so right now we know that market is really volatile, and yet since then J&J has went up quite a bit, right? Which is a good thing, right? Okay, if you have followed my 15th of December video, right? Okay, so I do encourage you to go back to that video and take a look, right? What I have to say on J&J, and also add on to what I have to say today as an update, right? On the based on the current price right now, right? Since 15th of December, it has reached an all-time high of 251.71 as of 2nd of March. Since then, it has hovered quite a little bit sideways, right? I would say this is a consolidation period, right? Okay, after reaching a new high, this is a consolidation period, right? Okay, and basically, roughly this range, right? Okay, I do think that due to the strategy that I employ, right? Okay, in terms of the technicals, it is seemingly trying to have some profit taking from the investors and traders, right? Likelihood that it might in the short term have some selling pressure, right? Okay, that is highly possible, right? Okay, highly possible. But what are the ranges that it can go, right? Okay, so right now, I do see that it is entering a consolidation or so-called a correction phase, right? A short-term consolidation and correction phase. And because it has run up a lot for the past 1 year, more than 50%, which is rarely seen, right? Okay, in such a short span of time, it is actually overbought short-term wise, right? Okay, in the span of 1 year, right? Okay, so I do see that it might even break this low, right? Okay, this low that is established here, right? This is the resistance that I mentioned earlier in my chart, right? Okay, in my slides, right? Okay, so this level, right? This level, which is $232.24, might break, right? Okay, and it might go all the way to 220 or 210, right? Testing this level, right? Testing this level. This is highly possible, right? Okay, because now it is having starting to have a correction consolidation phase, and this might break here, right? Okay, the likely scenario, right? Okay, might or might not happen, but this is the likely scenario, highly possible, right? Okay, so I would say price point wise, we will want to wait for the correction to be over, right? Hopefully, and this is the a price zone, right? The price zone that once it reach this price zone, we can actually take a look again on the technical side to see whether the correction is over, right? Okay, having said that, right, if this does not hold, it might go even lower also, right? Which is a good thing, right? We want to buy when the buyers start coming back in, right? Okay, because right now, the way I see it, with quite a number of red candles, right, bearish candles, it does signal the correction is already ongoing, right? Okay, a short-term one, right, might last a week, a month, or a few months, who knows, right? Okay, but importantly is definitely it is in some sort of consolidation and correction phase. We do not want to go in blindly. We want to go in when the consolidation or correction is over, right, and buying interest starts coming back in, right? Okay, based on the price zone that I projected, right? Okay, it might happen that way, right? Okay, may or may not happen, but this is definitely a price over here based on the support level, right? Needs to be taken note of, right? Okay, and so basically, these are the areas that I talk about, right? Okay, like I say again, right? This is the key area whereby it might test and break, right? Okay, and of course, if it breaks above here, then it is going to an all-time high that has never seen before, right? Okay, so because of that, right? Okay, a bull case will be to break above the all-time high, right? Go into a price discovery, right? Which could lead to much higher levels, right? Okay, if that happens, right, that will be a bull case. A bear case will be to break below the support level that I mentioned, right, 232.24. It may signal a deeper correction all the way to 210 or 220 thereabout, right? Okay, could be slightly out of this range, right? Okay, depending on how long it takes, right? Okay. So in terms of risk management, always use a fixed risk percentage, right? For example, I always use 1% of my total capital, right, to get into a trade, right? Okay, to protect myself against unforeseen news or circumstances or scenario that happen, right? Okay, so basically don't put all your eggs into one basket, right? Okay. And watch XLV, right, the healthcare exchange traded fund ETF, right? Why? Because JNJ is a massive component of this fund, and usually when it move, right, they move together, right? Okay. And these are some pre-trade consideration. Monitor any news about tax settlements, as large payouts and court wins could cause sudden price swings, right? Okay. And also FDA decisions. Check the calendar for FDA, right, approvals for their robotic system or new drug filings. And in terms of position sizing, right, since JNJ is a blue chip, right, it is often less volatile than most stocks, right? But large news events can still cause a price movement, right? Okay, so do take note of that. Position size yourself properly, and like I say again, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? In terms of position size, like I say again, I always use 1% on each stock that I look at, right? Okay. And also macro factors, right? Watch for changes in the US pricing drug laws, right? Okay, because this could impact their profit margin and sales also, right? Okay. So that's all from me. If you find this helpful, right, do like the video and also subscribe to our channel so that you can get the latest update notification to your mobile or to your email, so that you can actually get the first-hand information once I upload a new stock deep dive or even insights about the markets, right? Okay, so thank you so much for watching. May the profits be with you, and I'll see you in my next update. See you soon.
I hope you loved the video and learned something new from it. If you want to receive more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notification. And if you want to learn more about the trade to win formula that I use in my trades, click on the link or button around this video to join my next free online workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn everything from finding the best opportunities to making consistent winning trades in the markets. I'll see you on the inside.